Okay, so good afternoon, everyone. You are all at the free webinar, Social Media Marketing Effectiveness. And this is being brought to you by Situated Research. Just a little housekeeping as we start. After today's webinar, it is going to be recorded and presented on our website on our recordings page. So that will probably happen on Monday. So it'll be there sometime over the weekend, but definitely by Monday. So if you know people who would benefit from this webinar, they can definitely check out the recording. Or if you can't attend the whole session today, it is going to be recorded. So you can feel free to kind of slip out early if you need to. Again, write your questions in your upper right-hand questions or chat box. We're going to go ahead and address those questions in the order in which we receive them at the very end. It's always good to type them in as you think of them. That way, in case we have to go back in the slides, we know exactly where to go. And after today's session, we'd really appreciate it if you'd email us. Give us comments on the webinar as well as suggestions for future topics for future webinars. And you can email those directly to me. That's my personal email address. You are all going to be muted for today because if I had 1,000 people talking at the same time, it'd be a little chaotic. So you're going to be muted. But again, type all your questions in your chat box or your question box. And I hope you enjoyed today's session. If you go to our recordings page on our website, you'll see that we do webinars all the time on various topics. And everybody usually enjoys the webinars. They're very informational. They give you a lot of insight into usability, your website, social media, all those great topics that we talk about. So definitely enjoy today's session. Before I start, I always like to give a little brief introduction about myself as well as our company. My name is Michelle Ann Sherritt, and I am the VP and co-founder of Situated Research, and my degree is in behavioral psychology. I have over 16 years of experience in behavioral psychology, usability, web design, several different industries. And so along with that and my husband's background, Dr. Sherritt's background, he has a PhD in communication and information sciences. So it's a multidisciplinary degree in different areas. And we started Situated Research at the end of October 2008, so this is actually our anniversary month. Happy anniversary to us. We're really excited. We're entering our 4th year of business. And although we've only had Situated Research for the last 4 years, we've been in the web design industry for 16 years, the usability industry, as well as the social media realm for longer than that. So we're really excited about that, entering our 4th year here. Situated Research is a company that's located in a town called Naperville. It's about 45 minutes west of Chicago. And I'm just going to tell you real briefly about our company because when you signed up for today's session, you were redirected to our website, hopefully. So just to give you a little introduction to it, again, it's called Situated Research. Here we do usability research and testing. We also we have 3 different divisions to our company. We have a web design and internet division where we focus on social media, SEO, marketing, and web design. And we have another division, which is our software/product division, where software companies and companies that make products come to us, and we actually bring in users and do testing and research to make that product or piece of software better, to give it a better user experience so that users like using these products and pieces of software at work, and they continue to purchase them. And the same thing with our 3rd division, which is our video game division. We actually have video game companies come to us. Right now we have EA Sports, Disney, Sony, Bungie, just to name a few, and they actually bring us their prototypes or game ideas, and we help to test them and give them feedback. So that's our company in a nutshell, and you can visit our website at www.situatedresearch.com to learn more. So let's get into today's webinar. We're talking about social media and marketing effectiveness. And in this webinar, we're going to be hitting some points on usability. So we're going to talk about how usability affects social media marketing effectiveness. We're also going to talk about how social media button placement on your website affects the button's performances. So that's all about usability. So we'll go ahead and touch on that. We're also going to talk about the quantity of social media buttons and how that affects their usage. We'll dip into strategies for an effective social media marketing plan specific to your industry and your company. And we're also going to talk about measuring. How do you measure your company's website marketing effectiveness? How do you measure those efforts? We're going to talk about all of this today. So it's a good idea, this webinar is recorded, but there are some things that I talk about that are not on the slides, so you may want to take some notes. Every webinar, I always have a goal for everybody who's attending, and today's goal is very simple. Always think about the end user. Always think about the person who's coming to your website, who's going to be going to your social media sites. Because it's very important. Otherwise, why have these sites? Why have a Facebook fan page? Why have a Twitter account? What's the point if you're not keeping in mind your users? So the first thing that we're going to discuss today is usability and social media. And before we can even talk about any of this, we have to understand what is usability. So usability is basically making products and systems easier to use and then matching those products and systems more closely to users' needs and requirements. So basically here at Situated Research, we refer usability to how well users can learn and use a product to achieve their goals and how satisfied they are with that process. Because if they're not satisfied, let's just take a website for example. If we redesign a website or help a web team to improve the usability and functionality of their current site, we want to make sure that users who are going to come to that site achieve their goals. They achieve what they came to do, whether it be to order a service, a product, whatever the case may be, to get information, whatever. We want to make sure that their goals are achieved, because if they're not, guess what? People aren't going to stay on the website. They're not going to go and like a Facebook fan page. They're not going to tweet back to you. They're not going to do any of this good stuff that's going to gain you your return on investment in your marketing efforts. So it's very, very important. So we're talking about users. We're talking about usability. And so in order to even move forward, you have to understand how your users think. Okay? Here at Situated Research, our main focus is on usability and the user experience. And with that being said, we've done a lot of projects where we've actually brought in users to test products. And we don't say that we test users because we're not testing users. We're testing your product. We're testing your piece of software, video game, or website. And we want to make sure that it's user-friendly so that people keep using your stuff. And what we found with all the research that we've done, along with other usability companies out there, is that users have expectations when they come to a website or go to a social media platform. They have these expectations, and when those expectations are not met, they leave. They don't have confidence in your company, your product, your branding, your services, or in you. And this research has proved itself over and over and over again. So your users have expectations. So they come to your website. They expect to see a Contact Us button in your main menu navigation at the top. They don't expect to see it at the bottom in the footer. That's one expectation. Another expectation that they normally have is an About Us page in your main menu navigation. If they don't see that, they say, hey, you know what? I want to know more about this company. I want to know about the people who are going to be working on my project, and this isn't here. So guess what? I'm leaving. Now users are expecting to see a blog. They want to see a blog for many different reasons, but the main reasons that our users have come up with is that they want to make sure that you know what the heck you're doing. They want to make sure that you know what you're doing within your industry, you know what you're talking about. So that's proven time and time again through a blog. The types of posts that you post, the type of stories that you write, the types of stories that you share, show that you're active within your industry. And so on our free webinars page, we've done a whole social media set of webinars, if you will, last year. And so one of them is on blogging and how to become an expert on blogs. So check that out. It's free. Some other expectations are they want to see pricing for your products and your services, some type of pricing. They want to see testimonials. They want to see exactly, okay, this is what other people think of this company. They also want to see social media buttons. Okay, so why do they want to see this? Social media is now mainstream. Everybody expects to see it. Everybody expects a company to have a Facebook fan page, to have a Twitter account, to have a LinkedIn account. They expect this. Otherwise, they think that you're trying to hide something, or they think that you don't want to connect with them. So they want to know that you want to be reached each and any way possible. And the best way to do that is through social media. The other reason why you want social media buttons is because it is mainstream. Everybody's looking for it. But also because if people like your product or service, they can spread the word very quickly through social media outlets. So again, understanding how your users think. They have expectations. They're looking to see that you have a Facebook fan page established. They're looking to make sure that you have a LinkedIn page. They're looking to make sure that you have a Twitter account. And so basically what that does is it gains trust. They say, I trust you. I trust this company. I trust the things that people are posting on these social media outlets. There's verbal discussions going on, communication happening. I can say, oh, well, this person purchased a product from this company and they enjoyed using it. They're spreading the word. Now, this can be bad sometimes for companies that don't have a good product. And so that word is going to spread like wildfire too, even if you don't have social media outlets. It's going to happen regardless. So, you know, definitely if you have a product or something that just isn't working and your customer service line is just ringing off the hook with complaints, contact us. We'll try to help you out. But as long as you have a good product, a good service, you're a good ethical company, you should have your social media outlets on your website. You want to see that you have a lot of fans following you, okay? Because this is going to gain you credibility and trust. This is going to gain you authority. It's going to gain you rank, expertise, quality, relevancy, and all of these things equal key factors in conversion rates. So people who go to these social media sites and see all of this start to gain trust within your company, and guess what? You start to get your return on investment. You start to get people to your website ordering your services or your product. So at the beginning, I said that we discuss where these social media buttons should go. Okay, so a blog button is a social media button. A blog is a place where you post your stories, you write posts, you get posts from other places. You want to give information to your users. And so everyone wants to see a blog connected to a website. Now here at Situate Research, what we do is we call blog integration. And basically what this is that we have blog in our upper main menu navigation. We make it a huge thing. And we make it integrated into our website. And there's reasons why you want to do that, which we're going to go through in just a moment. But this top green bar is actually our main menu navigation so that you can see that we do have a blog button. And then we have all the expectations. We have an About Us, we have our services, we have a contact page. In the middle, we have our three main social media outlets. And they are on our Contact Us page. They are LinkedIn, Twitter, and our Facebook fan page. So that's clickable. You just click and you go to those places. We also have them at the footer of every page of our website. And the reason for that is because some of our pages have a lot of content. And so instead of reading through that content and then having to scroll back up to click on one of these options, it's at the bottom, it's at the footer, so they can click on it right away and not have to do that. So why is this so important? Again, users have expectations. If your social media buttons are not where they expect them, they're not going to find them. And then in turn, they're not going to use them. It's just not good because all social media marketing efforts are going to be lost. If you have a social media team, all those efforts are lost. A marketing team, lost. You want them to be found. So a great way to do that is floating social media buttons. And this is great on blogs. And so here you can see that floating social media buttons increases your content sharing because it's very easy. At the top of your blog post, you have social media buttons. They can click on them right away if they like the title of the post, let's say, or they like the abstract of the post. And then at the bottom, you also have your social media buttons again. So after they read it, they want to share it, so they can easily do that. Here's just a screenshot of our blog. This is a recent post that we did. And so what we have are social media floating buttons at the bottom of the post. Again, you can have them at the top and the bottom or just the bottom. You want to make sure that they're always at the bottom, though, so that you have those. Because most likely, people will read the title and say, oh, that's a catchy title, like Butter Baby. What is all that about? They're not going to most likely want to share that right away until after they read the article. So that's why we do it. It really just depends on the type of posts that you put on your blog and the types of users that come to your website. And the only way you're going to know that is through usability research. So what buttons should you provide? For blogs, we have our Facebook like button, our tweets, LinkedIn, Google Plus now you want to have up, Stumble Upon, Dig, Delicious, Reddit, all of these should be on there because these are all sharing tools for blogs. So your share bar will look like what it does in the middle. And so everyone now pretty much knows what these buttons stand for. They've seen them. They've been branded very well. So you want to make sure that you have these on your blogs. So what buttons do you want to have on your website? Okay, you want to make sure that you have your Facebook fan page, your Twitter, and your LinkedIn. Those are the three main ones. Those are the three main ones that we stress because they're the most well-known, they have the most users, and these three social media outlets is where we get 85% of our business here at Situated Research. So we have a whole social media marketing course that we have where we show you how to use these tools and get customers from them. So you can check that out on our website, and I'll tell you more about it at the end. But these three tools are the main ones you want to make sure that are on your website. Now, I introduced you to blog integration a little earlier, and I said that we'd get to that, so we're going to get to that now. Why do you want a blog integrated into your website? First of all, what is blog integration? If you go to Situated Research, and I showed you our main menu navigation, you see blog in the main menu nav. And so you can simply click on the blog, and it takes you to our blog. Okay, and our blog looks and feels just like the rest of our website. It's great because it's in our website. You're not going to WordPress.com or Blogger or any of those other tools. But what people don't know is that our blog, hush hush, this is a secret, is a WordPress blog. What we've done is we've manipulated the code and the theme and integrated it into our website. Okay, and then we can do that for any customer. The reason why we do that is because it gains trust, credibility, and availability, meaning that you never, ever, ever want a user to leave your website. Okay, so if I just had a link that said blog, our blog, click here, and you clicked and it took you to WordPress.com, you're leaving our website. You're going to a second website. And the problem with that is that you may start searching through the blog and then want to get back to our website and keep hitting the back button, but the back button will only let you go back so far. And the problem with that, some people are like, well, what's wrong with that? I'll just type in the URL to your website again. Well, maybe you don't have a business card in front of you with the URL. Maybe you didn't write it down. Maybe you did a Google search and you don't remember what keywords you put in to bring up our website. Maybe you don't remember the name of our website, so you can't look it up. You always want to make sure users stay on your site. So to keep that going and keep people on your website, blog integration is very, very important. So if you're interested in that, just send me an email and I'll help you out with that. So now we're going to discuss how many buttons should you have. How many buttons is too many? You don't want to get overwhelming to your users. Maybe your users don't know what these buttons mean. Users only really want to see the basic, most used sites. That's Facebook, LinkedIn, and Twitter on your website. And then if you have a blog, you want to integrate Dig and Google+. Okay? Delicious and Reddit are bookmarking tools for blog posts. You know, if you use that and you enjoy those sites, you know, put it on your blog. That's fine. Just don't get too overwhelmed. Don't get your users too overwhelmed. Because if you have too many, they're not going to get used. And they're going to take up a lot of room on the page. And the most commonly used buttons won't get used either. They'll just skip it altogether. So you're going to lose trust in your company, your product, and your services because users will think that you're just trying too hard to get your company name out there or to get people to know about your company. And they're just going to read the post and move on and not share it. So let's now discuss social media marketing plan. Okay? When you want to integrate social media into your website or into your blog, you need to have a plan. Okay? So every company should have a social media marketing plan. And the first thing that you need to do is to define what is your business goal. You can have one major goal or you can have multiple goals depending on your business's concerns and what they're looking for. So usually marketing departments are involved with this. And marketing departments, what they want to see is that we increase the traffic to our website. We improve our brand positioning. We have more people talk about the brand. We want to reach a new customer segment. And as marketing people, we want to set a new marketing message, new positioning, new marketing campaign, etc., and set a communication media with customers. That is our main goal if we're in our marketing department. Now, if you're the one who's actually producing the product, you want to gather customer feedback about products. You want to set up user testing. That's going to be your most important thing to keep improving your product. You want to build a customer service base and launch customer surveys. Do market research and competition research as well. If you're in the sales department, you want to increase customer satisfaction. You want to increase the number of recurring sales. That's very important to you. You want to increase lead generation. You want to open a new sales channel, a new funnel. You want to reach a new customer segment as well as the marketing department. And if you're corporate management, you want to hire good talents. You want to increase your employee retention. You want to improve your internal knowledge sharing and increase internal communication. These are all important factors to you. So let's talk about market segmentation. You have to know who your customers are. You have to segment precisely your customers, as this is the beginning of successful return on investment with social media, because you're going to know who your customers are. You'll be able to set up the most appropriate campaign and target the most relevant media. So here at Situate Research, we have a social media marketing campaign that we offer to our clients, but we always work very closely with their marketing department, and if they have a social media department, of course, we work with them. So know who your customers are. You can do this through socio-demographics data, usages, psychological data, communication channels, expectations in terms of sales and messages. How do your users perceive ads? What are their social graphs? How do they link to each other? How are they talking to one another? How are they discussing your product or service? What's their purchasing decision cycle? And who do they partner up with? These are all important things to think about when you're trying to get to know who your customers are. And then you need to define the right campaign. You need to define the messages. What do you want put out there on social media? Because once it's out there, it's out there. The word spreads like crazy. You have to define the tone, define the formats. Are you going to use videos, ads? What are you going to do? Define the degree and find formats. Any format will not work. The more appropriate ones than others will be pure viral campaigns. This is very important. You have to pick the partners you want to work with, define your budget, and then define your timeline. Then you need to select the right social media outlets. Like I said, here at Situate Research, we use Facebook, LinkedIn, and Twitter. Not all social media outlets are going to be successful for you. And one of the last things that you want to do is to be like everybody else, to be like your competition. You have to figure out what your company's needs are. What are your users' needs? What are your customers' needs? Who are your customers? But what we found here at Situate Research is no matter what company we help them with the social media, we always use Facebook. We always create a Facebook fan page. We always create a Twitter page. We always create a LinkedIn page. And we get traffic to those 3 outlets. So just some examples. If you're offering a B2B product targeting big corporations and you want to increase customer satisfaction and generate more leads with your installed base, which social media could you select? Well, what you would want to do is webinars. Here at Situated Research, we do webinars all the time. Today we had over 1,000 people attending. That's 1,000 people that we could reach to talk about our company, to talk about things that are going to inform the customers, like social media, usability, getting their wheels spinning about these items that are very, very important to a business's success. Forums for tips would be important. Having online advisory boards might be something that we would do. Virtual fairs where customers can meet and talk to each other would be important. And SlideShare to present new products to people. Let's say you acquire a new company and you want to spread the message that you now have new offers in your portfolio. Which social media could you select to use? Any of these would work. Blogs would be great. Twitter would be awesome. Twitter's great. A lot of people say, Twitter, I'm not sure about that. I don't really care if someone's at a coffee shop drinking coffee. That's not what Twitter's supposed to be used for. Twitter's supposed to be used to get things out there to more people at one time. So you tweet, oh, we have a new product, it's blah, 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 gain their interest, provide a link, and all those people following you, which are tens of thousands of people, are going to click and go to your website. They're going to check out that product because you wrote something interesting. Again, that's all, what to tweet about, blog about, Facebook about, LinkedIn about is all in that social media webinar series, so check it out. Facebook fan page is very important. You can see what your friends are sharing. If they're on a Facebook fan page, if they like the company, you can see what they're saying. SlideShare and LinkedIn as well you can use. So we said that we would talk about measuring and how do we measure the results. Yes, we want a return on investment. This exists for social media, and some people say, I don't know how you measure social media outcomes. How do you do this? It depends on your business goal. You can assess if you've reached your target. So there's different measurements for this. You can measure the number of views to your website, the number of unique visitors, and unique visitors means that someone's just not clicking all over your website and all those clicks count as a user. We're talking about people who go to your website and they can click around all they want, but they count as one visitor. Okay? Those are unique visitors. You want to count the number of returning visitors. You want to count how many people come to your website and leave right away, your bounce rate. Where are your users coming from? Geographical locations are very important. And how much time do they spend on your website? You want to measure the results. You want to measure the number of external links connecting to your website, the number of conversations about your brand. What are the quality of those conversations? You need to assess those. The number of active users on either your Facebook fan page, Twitter, or LinkedIn account. How many recurring sales are you having? What are the number of customers willing to talk in favor of you? The number of user feedbacks for new products, generation, and product testing. New revenues generated on a new segment. All of these things are important that need to be measured. Why? Here's Situated Research. This is a quote that we came up with. We said, during a recession with dollars stretched, marketers are under increased pressure to prove their programs. Social media, being largely experimental for many brands, need to measure to quickly course-correct programs in real time. During times of cutbacks, marketers must know what to cut, and in order to do so, measurement is key. So if you can't measure it, you can't manage it. It's that simple. With social media, like with anything else, you need to know where you are when you start and what needs to be achieved. As you move along the path, you have to have tools to measure your progress. That way you can see if you're on track and adapt quickly if things go south. Your measurement must be based on business objectives, and those objectives have to be set as measurable goals. Just setting up attributes to track on a dashboard is not enough. So what are you going to measure will depend on what goals you have set in the initial part of your strategy. Based on listening and research, you should have determined what actions you need to focus on in social media. So there are two sides to this equation, outputs and outcomes. So first you have to measure what you did and what impact it had, and then you can see what result it had. So you've got your input, or I'm sorry, your impact with your outputs and your outtakes on the left, and you've got your return on investment, your outcomes on the right, and you want your return on investment to totally take down your impacts and your outputs. There should be more. So this little visual here shows you that. So did your sales or revenue or profits increase? Did your relationship change with your customers? Did the right people show up? Did the audience behavior change? You want to make sure that all of these things happen. So just as an example, let's examine some possible goals and what the measurements would be for those goals. We had a skincare company with a new lotion product, and their goals were to create awareness for their new category of skin lotion. They wanted to participate in the conversation about skincare, get more involved. They really wanted to educate moms about the new type of lotion with articles and skincare tips. They wanted to find and create relationships with other bloggers in the space. They wanted to increase the share of voice in the blog conversations about skincare. They really wanted to create visibility on search engines for the product and related keywords. And they wanted to create interest in search volume about this type of product. They wanted to create word of mouth about the product and the target audiences. So they had about 8 goals, okay, for one company. So what did we benchmark and measure? We searched for volume for the phrase Lust Lotion. That was the name of their new lotion coming out. We searched the volume for products like Skin MD and Skin MD Natural. These were keywords key to their business. Search visibility of the articles and tips syndicated in a feed we looked at. Do they show up in search engines for the keywords relevant to the subject and the product? We looked at the visitors to those feeds. We looked at the syndication of the article and tips. Were they tagged, saved, and republished on other social sites? Was the winning out? We looked at online conversations about the product in social networks and social sites. The share of voice in the online conversation about skincare was important as well, and the number of bloggers reviewing the product or using content from the blog articles was important to look at. The number of people clicking through from these blog posts to the website was important. The demand for the product from brick and mortar stores was important. Website sales, Google search insights for Lust Lotion. We had to look at all of this. So a measurement plan, what we did is we looked at, okay, what is your ROI? What is your return on investment? So you have to define both the R and the I. So what exactly is the return or result you're looking for? Figure out what the expectations are in your agency, the client, your own in-house department, and from the C-suite. Define your ideal situation. Get everyone on the same page and make sure that the R is attainable and realistic. Then you can define the I. What will it take to get this done? Do your benchmarks and look at your goals and what you need to measure. Define the metrics and get everyone's agreement that those are the success metrics. Benchmark everything so you have a beginning number to measure against. Otherwise, there's no point in doing any kind of measuring. So research is key here. You have to find the right people to engage with. You have to find out where they are. What are their likes and dislikes? Figure out how best to engage with them. Define what an improved relationship with these people will yield for your company, your clients. Other engagement measurements that you could track are ratio of posts to comments, the percentage of repeat visitors to your website, the percentage of 5+ minute visitors. That means how many people spend more than 5 minutes on your site, what pages are they focused on, and the percentage of registrations. So how many people come to your website and register for something, a newsletter, your monthly newsletter, or to get more information about your services or product. So everybody's like, okay, this is great, but how do I actually measure? Where do I get these numbers? There are different tools for measurements. Yahoo News and Google News is great because it mentions your key messages. You can set up an RSS feed of the searches you want to track. Google Blogs and iceRocket are great for who's talking about your blogs, who is talking about your products. Blog Pulse is great. It gives you a graph of blog mentions. social mention and TwazUp. Those are social content and Twitter posts. TwazUp gives you more context around a Twitter search. You've got Radian 6, which is used a lot. Visible Technologies, this is for automated tracking and reporting. Some of these are free, some of them are not. Google Search Insights is great for tracking search volume on specific keywords and phrases. But Google Web Analytics is free. And Google Web Analytics really does help you to give you feedback onto your bounce rate, how many minutes people are spending on your website, what pages, geographical locations. You can put in campaigns and it will track those for you. So here's Situated Research. When we do social media marketing campaigns with companies, we give them a weekly report of their progress. And in that report, we could write anything. We could say, oh yeah, this is really working. You've got a lot of people, a lot of conversion. And you could be like, oh, and I can make up any chart I want. Well, obviously, we don't do that. We're an ethical company, but anyone could do that. So what we use is Google Analytics because it's free. It's through Google. We can't make up anything. We use their charts. We help you with the interpretation of those charts, and you can see how our campaign's working, or if it's not working, what we need to fix. And so it's great because it's a free tool, and you can log in anytime to see how your campaign's doing. SurveyMonkey is great too. It is free, or you can have a paid subscription, and it gives you online surveys that you can give out to your potential customers to get feedback. So after you gather all this data, what does it mean? Having mountains of data is great, but the crucial question is, what does all of this mean? What do these numbers mean? Being able to evaluate the data and come to a conclusion you can use to tweak or expand your program is key. You need to tell your story to others, the client, your superiors, the C-suite. If you are the only person who understands the metrics and key performance indicators, then you have just guaranteed that your company or client will not take action. Rather than a mountain of data no one understands, keep it simple. That's our motto here at Situated Research. Keep it simple and easy to translate to others, and make it available fast. Stats that are a month old are no use to anyone. You can't use it. It's old news. And especially in social media, that news goes very quickly and goes by the wayside very quickly. So it always has to be tracked. You want to strive to make your reporting instantly useful, so no explanations are required, because that will open the door to letting you show your deep stuff, explaining the nuances, and get support for your programs. Look for failures first. Check to see what the competition is doing. Then look for exceptional success. Compare to last month, last quarter, your 13-month average. Figure out what worked and what didn't work. And if something didn't work, please don't ever do it again. Some companies say, oh, well, I'll give it a month and try it again. It didn't work. Don't waste your time and try it again. Make tweaks, make it better. Move resources from what isn't working to what is. So just real quickly, a case study on Reads Incorporated. Reads Incorporated is a social media strategy that was completed a few months ago. And the following steps were implemented. They had goals. So their goals were to connect with Reads customers and fans who are active in social media, on YouTube, Twitter, and blogs. They wanted to connect with audiences online who have an interest in natural sodas and ginger brews. They wanted to increase the share of voice and mentions of the brand in online conversations. And they wanted to raise awareness of Reads products in the mainstream soda market. So the actions that they took so far is they made a Twitter feed. They set that up. They have about 219 followers, which is rising as we speak. They also established a YouTube channel, which is great because they can post videos of their actual company and inside and showing how the brewing process works. So the actions taken, they have a new website that was designed on a blog platform. That currently is still under construction. They've done articles, tips and recipes for healthy remedies, RSS feeds, and they plan for the new site. So their metrics were the number of followers on Twitter. They have now 2,219, and that's rising. They have over 1,000 views on their YouTube channel each day. The number of bloggers who write about ginger ale and or ginger brew is about 230 a day. The percentage who mentions Reads brands and share a voice is 96. The share of voice is 5%. And then we have investment bloggers as well. As Reed's social media activities are implemented according to the strategy and the plan that we came up with, these metrics will be tracked each month, and they receive a report weekly to see their progress. So another great tool to show you your social media efforts are working is websitegrader.com. Websitegrader.com gives your website a score out of 100. It looks at search engine optimization, how well your content's written. It goes into your blog, grades your blog, your Twitter account, your social media outlets. And here's Situate Research. We have companies who request free usability reports on their website. And so in that report, we go over 20 different areas of usability, and we use WebsiteGrader for part of it. And we actually, all you have to do is just go to websitegrader.com. You can do it right after the webinar or do it now. And just type in your website URL and hit Generate Report. And it takes about a couple of seconds to get your score. And what you want to see is a score of 80 or above. This is Situate Research score. It's a 99. So that's really, really good. And so you can see your score, and then you can go through the different areas that it looks at. So like I said, the first thing is content. So it looks at our blog. It says, okay, you have a blog. That's good. If you don't have a blog, it says you need to integrate one into your website. It gives us a blog grade. It talks about recent blog articles. And this report was actually done last year. So this isn't our updated statistics. You can run ours if you want. You can run any websites. You can run your competitions too to see how they're doing. But it shows recent blog articles, how many retweets, how many inbound links do we have, how many index pages to Google do we have, what's the readability level of our content. It goes through everything. It also goes through our delicious bookmarks, our Twitter account, what's our Twitter grade out of 100, how many followers do we have. So it goes through all of that, and these are great statistics that you need to know. So let's talk a little bit about Google Analytics. We mentioned that earlier. That's a free service that's offered by Google, and it generates detailed statistics about the visitors coming to your site. It builds, tracks, and improves the goals we help set with our clients. So it really helps us out a lot. We stem ideas for SEO and marketing campaigns, including newsletters, press releases, by using Google Analytics. We utilize the data every month when we report, and we actually now report weekly, so it's not once a month. We do it weekly because it's always changing, and it helps us to be proactive with the project. So why use Google Analytics? Analytics and optimization are huge. It does activity and transaction monitoring. It correlates to business results. So it gives us a lot of activity, shows us a lot of items. It provides business justification and direction for companies. It can show a marketing person, okay, let me show this to my boss and show them how this is working. Let me show them how it's not working. What do we need to improve on? It gives you dashboards and tools. The only thing with Google Analytics is that there are a few lines of code that have to be put in to each page of your website's code. So for every page, these 5 lines of code have to be put in. So you need someone to do that. So if you don't have someone on staff that can do that and you want to hook your website up to Google Analytics and see all of this good information, just contact us. It's very easy to do. So what does web analytics measure? It measures the amount of visitors. Remember, visitors compared to unique visitors. Tells us what browsers they're using. It tells us their location, new versus returned visitors, all that good information. It tells us the origins of traffic. What keywords are people typing in? What are referrals? What pages do we get the most traffic on? Looks at content, the effectiveness. You know, if we have a huge bounce rate on our homepage, that means there's nothing on there that's keeping people on there. You know, the content stinks. We need to fix that. Navigation throughout the website. You know, how long does it take someone to order a product? Is that process too long? Google Analytics really helps you to figure that out. So how do you optimize this? You have to have a plan. You have to have a social media marketing plan. You have to have goals. You have to define those goals, and it can't just be for your marketing department. We have a lot of companies that come to us, and it's their marketing people coming to us, and we're like, we're not going to start this with you unless your whole team's on board. Okay? Your sales department, corporate, everybody has to be on board, and you all have to have common goals. Measure trends, measure bounce rates, track your campaigns, whether that be newsletter or emails, and be methodical. You want to know that you have more visitors coming to your website. You want to figure out how they're coming to your website and execute campaigns. So your goals, you want to select a page you want visitors to see to reach the goal. The goal is usually thank you or a confirmation page. So the types of goals are, like I said, a thank you page, a contact form. Maybe you want them to download a PDF or a white paper. Maybe you want them to sign up for your newsletter. Maybe you want them to sign up for your blog news feed. You have to set up goals under analytics settings, profile settings, conversion goals in your funnel. You want to select up to 4 goals per profile. And you can set up duplicate profiles to add more goals if you need to. That's what we did with Reads Incorporated. You want to enter the URL of your goal page and get a confirmation as well, and then you want to name that goal. So these are all parts of the social media marketing campaign that we do for customers, where we do this whole planning process and we help them to implement it. Since this is our anniversary month, happy anniversary to us as we enter our 4th year of business, we want to thank our past customers, our current customers, and our future customers. And we want to thank them for making Situated Research what it is today. So to show our appreciation, we're offering $500 off of our social media marketing campaign package, which is normally $2,800. So for this month, it would be $2,300. And it's a 2-month social media marketing program that we do. And of course, that can be extended. Usually 90% of the time it is, where people just pay a monthly fee to us to continue it. But basically for 2 months, we get you on social media outlets, Facebook fan page, Twitter, and LinkedIn, okay, if you don't already have those established. And we post for you. We write the content up that's going to be posted. We write blog posts. You can have a blog integrated into your website. That's a separate cost, but we can do that for you. And for 2 months, we're monitoring, giving you those measurements that we talked about during the webinar today on a weekly basis through Google Analytics and through our own analytic tools that we use. And we give you that information, and we help to increase traffic to your website and get your return on investment. And so again, that's for 2 months. If you want it extended, there's a monthly rate that we do. But to learn more, just go to our website and go under services and look at social media. And you can go ahead, and this is the link here, and you can read more about that. We also have our social media marketing course. And so this course, I have a bunch of people who actually just signed up recently this past week. It's a 5-day online course. And your login is good for 1 year. And you can download and watch at your leisure. And it's 5 days, and it's about 2 hours worth of video a day, so it's 10 hours of video. And we go through the whole social media marketing plan. We go through how to come up with a plan. We go through specifics for your company and how you develop your plan, how you market yourself, how you go about doing all of this. And so that's in the 5-day plan. We actually have some people from Microsoft right now from their marketing department who just signed up for the course last week. So they're attending, and like I said, it's at your leisure. You receive a login and password. You log in whenever you want. The videos are at your disposal. And the great thing about this, too, is that if you have any questions, you just email me. And within 48 hours, I get back to you. So it's normally $99 to attend. But if you want to sign up for the course, just send me an email. You can either email me at info@situatedresearch.com or michelle@situatedresearch.com. And I'll go ahead and sign you up for $80 since you're an attendee today. So you save $19 off of the social media marketing course. And again, this is a course, it's an introductory course for those new to social media. You learn the basics of how social media works, so there's no prior social media knowledge that's required. And like I said, the course is only $80 for attendees who are attending today. So if you will be watching the recorded version, it's going to be $99 for you. But anybody who's attending today, it's $80. And that gives you 10 hours of training. And it includes also a bonus coupon for an additional $100 off of the social media marketing campaign. So for this month, we're offering the $500, and if you sign up for the course, you get an additional $100. That's $600 off of the social media marketing campaign, which brings that down to $2,200. So you get to discover a real and proven method for internet marketing success. Guaranteed. We guarantee it. So that's all the sales I'm going to do for this webinar. Let's go ahead and go to Q&A. And so if you haven't typed in your questions, please do so, and then we'll go ahead and go through those. While you're writing questions, I see some people still doing that. Let's go ahead and put up our contact information. Again, our company is Situated Research. There's our direct phone number if you need to contact us, as well as our web address. And of course, our social media links are on our website. So definitely become a fan on our Facebook fan page. We give a lot of good information daily on usability, websites, social media, video games, software, you name it, we talk about it. We'll go ahead then and end the webinar. If you do have questions, email us at michelle@situatedresearch.com or info@situatedresearch.com, and I'll be more than happy to answer your questions. And please visit our website and take a look at the social media marketing course and the campaign. And if you're interested or want more information, again, just email us and we'll go ahead and get that information to you. And if you're interested in the blog integration, go ahead and email us as well and we'll get you more information. So I want to thank everyone for attending today. We had over 1,000 people signed up, and we still have about 900 people logged in, so that's great. Definitely take advantage of those offers that we gave to you today, because those are exceptional offers that won't come along again. So get some good discounts there. Okay, so any questions, just email me, and I want to thank you all for attending today, and have a wonderful day. Thanks so much. Bye-bye.